Welcome to Domain 1, Section 1.6, AI Strategies. In this session, we will define what an AI strategy actually is, who should build it, the opportunities it unlocks, and the big practical choices that flow from it, including value alignment, the build versus buy decision, managing vendors, and sharing responsibility for off-the-shelf tools. Why does this matter beyond the exam? A clear strategy is what stops an organization from buying AI tools at random and hoping for the best. It gives you a framework to argue for the right hosting choice, to vet a vendor properly, and to know who is on the hook when a bought-in tool misbehaves. In short, it turns scattered AI experiments into deliberate, governed progress. Let's start with the idea itself. Implementing AI is broadly similar to rolling out any other software, so a proper change management process still applies. But AI carries unique business and risk considerations that you cannot ignore. An AI strategy is simply an organization's overall approach to adopting, developing, and governing AI, designed to capture the benefits while keeping risk under control. Strategies exist at three levels. A national strategy aligns AI with a country's values, laws, and security. An industry strategy promotes innovation and shared standards within a sector. And a corporate strategy hunts for competitive advantage while staying compliant. A good strategy rests on agreed principles, usually the familiar, ethical ideas of explainability, fairness, transparency, and keeping humans at the center. A well-known reference point here is the set of principles from the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, which come in two groups. The first group is 5 values-based principles for trustworthy, human-centric AI, covering inclusive growth, respect for human rights and the rule of law, transparency and explainability, robustness and safety, and accountability. The second group is 5 recommendations to governments, covering investment in research, an inclusive AI ecosystem, sound governance, building human capacity, and international cooperation. A strategy only works if the right people own it. It must be accepted by senior management to succeed, and it should be drafted by a cross-functional team so every part of the business has a voice. Here is a reassuring point. Deep technical expertise is not strictly required to set the strategy, so an organization short on internal AI knowledge should simply bring in outside experts or consultants. Many organizations lean on an existing group, like an innovation committee, with members drawn from technology, risk, legal, operations, and finance. The whole point of a strategy is to spot opportunities, and AI offers several clear ones. The first is increased innovation, helping the organization create distinctive products or business models. The second is richer data analysis, turning huge amounts of data into timely, actionable insight. The third is improved customer service through personalization and automation. The fourth is automation of routine processes, which cuts operating costs. And the fifth is stronger, continuous monitoring of risk and compliance. There is an important catch with these benefits, though. Capturing them rarely comes from simply switching on a tool. More often, it requires redesigning core business processes and sometimes even inventing entirely new business models. That is the real challenge facing leaders. And it is why strategy, not technology, is the hard part. A strategy also needs a vision rooted in the organization's mission. An AI vision tells both staff and outsiders what the organization intends to do with AI and why. Think of it like the destination written at the top of a travel plan. Without it, every individual decision about AI lacks a reference point, and teams pull in different directions. This leads naturally to value alignment, which means designing AI so it behaves in ways consistent with human values and ethics. Alignment is not universal. It differs from one organization and one country to the next. So developers must consider their specific users and the values those users hold. 4 elements shape it. Community, by adapting the AI over time using real feedback. Ethical foundations, by respecting universal human values and different cultural traditions. Legal compliance, by following the laws of each region. And operational strategy, by engaging stakeholders and refining the system continuously. Value alignment does not happen by accident. It has enablers. The first is frameworks and guidance to steer development. The second is human engagement, since people are essential to refining the system. The third is organizational change, to weave alignment into the culture. And the fourth is audits and assessments, to confirm the AI keeps living up to its ethical commitments. Crucially, alignment must be checked across the entire life cycle, which only a strong governance process can deliver. Now to a decision every organization faces: build or buy. You can purchase ready-made commercial software or develop your own and run it either on your own premises or in the cloud. Picture the difference between owning a private workshop and renting a fully serviced unit. Running AI on your own premises gives more control, customization, and tighter command of data security, but it costs more in computing power, energy, and staff. Running it in the cloud scales easily and lowers upfront cost, but you give up some control and risk being locked into one vendor or hit by unpredictable charges. The cloud choice adds contractual wrinkles too. If your training data is covered by privacy laws, even the physical location of the hosting provider can matter, so vendor oversight becomes essential. To decide well, an enterprise should weigh 6 questions: how total costs compare, whether it has the data, skill, and time to build something as good as it could buy, the regulatory risk of each path, which option fits its current operating model, the data privacy challenges of each, and the danger of vendor lock-in. When vendors are part of the plan, they must be vetted at onboarding and watched throughout the relationship, following standard procurement plus a risk assessment. For AI specifically, that assessment should check 3 things: that the vendor's strategy and values align with yours, that it honors ethics like transparency and explainability, and that it protects data security and privacy. For ongoing oversight, set clear service level agreements, which are the documented promises about performance, and review them regularly. Whoever oversees these vendors must understand the organization's AI vision well enough to judge AI-specific concerns, and their input should feed into how you measure return on investment. This brings us to shared responsibility. If you lack in-house expertise, partnering with a vendor or an industry coalition for secure AI may be the smartest route. An off-the-shelf solution is a pre-built tool from a third party, and while it speeds up adoption, it blurs the boundaries of who owns what. 3 risks stand out: accountability and ownership, where unclear duties for maintenance can hurt performance or compliance; ethical concerns, where it is unclear who is to blame when the tool produces biased or wrong results; and data security, since sharing data widens the attack surface. The key rule is this: defining those responsibilities falls entirely on the buying organization, because it is usually your people and processes feeding data into the tool, so you must spell out clearly what you own, what the provider owns, and what you share. Let's bring it all together. An AI strategy is a governed approach to adopting and developing AI, set at national, industry, or corporate levels, built on principles like fairness and transparency, owned by senior management and a cross-functional team. It targets opportunities like innovation, automation, and better monitoring, but realizing them often means redesigning the business. From the strategy flow the big choices: aligning to human values, deciding whether to build or buy, vetting vendors with clear service agreements, and, above all, defining shared responsibility whenever you rely on someone else's tool. You now have the full arc from strategy to execution. Every important topic and idea from this session is covered in the multiple choice questions on RooCloud.com. Before you move on to the next session, work through the chapter-wise questions there, because reasoning through them is what cements these decisions in your memory. Practice first, and then move forward with confidence. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.